How are you?
Good morning, Anton. Good. How are you and Rach?
Yes, good. Good morning to awesome morning to all the people watching on the live stream and most especially watching on the replay. We have a very special guest, no?
Oh,
He's known as the Chicken Man Manila. And ang story nito, it's a legend story talaga of the Hainanese chicken rice, no?
oh,
During those time. And maybe we'll talk to him on and he agreed to share his story and what happened, no? Throughout these years, how he was able to compete, no, and especially during this pandemic. And tune in to us if you have questions, join in our discussion. My name is Anton Diaz, founder of Our Awesome Planet, and we're talking about the legendary story of Stevie's
grabe
Hainanese
naman yung
chicken rice. All right,
Actually,
thank you. And we're here talking to Stevie,
And thank you,
founder All right, Stevie.
okay.
Okay,
Grabe
maybe.
naman yung introduction mo.
Oo nga. So, maybe you can share to a lot of people kasi baka hindi pa nila alam sino ba 'tong si Chicken Man Manila. Maybe can you share an introduction and how it all started ba?
Yes. Well, I don't know if I explained this to you through our dinners together with our foodie friends, but cooking is actually my second career. Similar to you, what you're doing now, you were in the corporate world before. I was too. And I actually graduated as a finance and accounting major.
Ah,
And yes. Up until 2006, I used to be based in the US. I decided to come home just a little bit burnt out from the corporate life. So when I got here to the Philippines, I took a break for like a couple of months. Then I decided to go to Singapore through a suggestion of a good friend of mine, Myra Monyoska, who used to be based there, to try it out over there. And when I was there, I would go back and forth between Manila and Singapore, trying to, I guess, figure out what I wanted to do next. And at first, I wanted to go into marketing. However, the problem with the Singapore market, they're quite specialized. So, in my position, they weren't accepting any, new applicants on a
mhm.
managerial level without any experience.
Anong year
So,
'to, Stevie? Anong year 'to? If you could
between
remember.
2007 and 2008, Anton.
Wow, financial crisis. Okay.
Yes. So I was going back and forth between Manila and Singapore. Then eventually, out of I guess discussing it through with my friends, my family, I found my passion with food over there. And actually, ever since before pa naman, I was into food na because our yung family namin, yung known for pagkain talaga. I think
Talaga.
my body speaks for itself. So, ever since I was young pa, I used to cook na. Pero I guess when you're growing up, you don't at that time culinary wasn't really a profession that you would go straight into. And
Yes, of course. Yeah.
yeah. So later na lang 'yon sa mga mga millennials na. So uh at midlife, I decided to switch careers. So the easiest way for me to do it was to go back to school. So I went to ICE camp for culinary
Okay.
school. Yeah, here in Manila na. I decided to go. So I was there for 18 months, including my
Wow.
OJT in, I don't know if you remember Aubergine restaurant in BGC.
Yes, nag-aubergine ka,
Yes,
aubergine.
yes. That's what most of the students from ISCAM used to OJT there. So when I graduated sometime in, I don't remember, 2009, 2010, at first, Anton, I wanted to go I wanted
Sa
to go sa cruise ship just to travel for
Oo,
like
okey din
for
'yun, 'no?
yeah, for like a year or two kasi I wanted to see the world pa. Yung problema, dininay yung akin na visa ng US
Talaga?
Embassy. Yeah. Kasi I was overqualified daw because I already had a career in the States in finance. And parang
Ah,
they didn't find a shift in culinary was a parang
oo.
a good enough reason for me to akala nila mag-jump ship ako at saka
Oo,
babalik ako ng
magja-jump ship ka.
Amerika. Oo. And I told them, I'm like, if I really planned to go back, I would have gone. I would have gone back, and I know enough people over there for me to return if I wanted to. Anyway,
Oo.
so I went into culinary school for 2 years. After I graduated, I applied for cruise ship. I didn't get into cruise ship. Then mga I rested for like a month or two, and
Mhm,
then this came around this December of 2010, I think.
okey.
And my cousin, my close cousin, who's also my travel buddy now, who owns a travel agency, gave was parang encouraging me to give a friend of ours who was a blogger. I'm
Sino
not sure if
'yan?
you know her, Ingrid Chua.
Of
Uh,
course,
yeah,
yes.
the bag hag.
Oo,
Yeah.
of
So
course.
my friend decided to give her. She knew that I was cooking Hainanese chicken, which I
O
learned from Singapore because I took different classes when I was based
oo.
there.
Okey.
So my recipe is not only one recipe. It's like a combination of three or four classes that I took over there. And like right before Christmas 2010, my cousin uh told me to gift Ingrid a set. So
Oo.
as in
Ah,
the following when I gave it to Ingrid, she texted me. She's like, "Oh, I have to write I have to write something about this." As in the next day, she wrote about it on her blog. As in
oo.
I wasn't ready for opening a business at all. As in the orders just came. It was such a surprise talaga. So I was learning along the way. So it was
Talaga?
a blessing in disguise talaga. And I owe it to you guys in social media, because that's how I got my foot on the door.
Oo.
Uh you sina Joel Binamira of Marketman,
Mhm,
all you guys pioneers were the ones who really helped me in the beginning.
oo.
So
So it started with Hainanese chicken, 'no? Wait,
just
marami.
Hainanese chicken. Yeah.
Oo. And I want to ask you what happened now, no, from that point. Pero before you answer that, may mga nag-hi.
Mhm.
So Lisa Haveliana said, "Legendary chicken man," and of
She's
course
based
Mayo.
in Toronto, Anton.
Talaga.
No.
Shout out Mayo Bueno. Of course, Pearl de Guzman,
Hi,
and
hi, hi,
Gladys.
hi.
Yes, oo. So, paano nangyari? I know, grabe yung walang nagbebenta ng Hainanese chicken rice nun eh. And I know there was really a lot of hype, no? But at the same time, when a lot of people tried it, at saka nagsisimula pala yung mga potluck, di ba? Nagsisimula lang yung home
Yes,
base
yes,
during the time
exactly.
eh.
Oo, oo,
Di-
tama.
And,
And
and
that time, exactly, nagsa-start talaga yung mga potluck dinners at that time. So I think the blessing in disguise for me was that I only had one product, which I
okay.
also I think is one of the learning points that some of your viewers can probably latch on to,
Oo.
is that you really need to have a specialty in this market. Kasi our food market here in Manila is so big, if you become a jack of all trades, you'll just fall through the cracks, 'di ba?
Oo.
You
Yeah.
need something na people will remember you from. So I just started with one dish. That's it. Hainanese chicken lang.
Mhm.
And it took me a while actually to add another dish. Mga 6 months pa siguro, or to a year after I
Oo,
added.
parang matagal yun, eh, 'di ba?
Oo. I was just and siguro blessing also or luck at that time. There weren't a lot of home businesses yet for the potluck industry, which
Mhm.
now is of course very very huge na no.
Oo, booming na.
So
So what
booming na.
were the other products? I'll show your Instagram now. What were the other products you started to branch
My
out?
next one was a my fresh Vietnamese spring rolls that I
Okay.
learned through a
Ito,
uh ayan yung
okay.
sa on top. Yes.
Ito.
Oo. And then yung fried shrimp with bacon, which is staple in our house.
Oo, sarap
I've
niyan.
also incorporated mga recipes that we've that that I grew up with in our home kitchen. So eventually I'd add like a dish or two kasi even our clients would request no kasi most of the time it's more for convenience that you offer variety for your clients na you become a one-stop shop na lang. So, yun, my point also to not to offer too many dishes at the same time. Kasi, not you'll end up not having a specialty at all. Even, a group of like 5 dishes or 6 dishes,
Oo.
which is tamang-tama lang for a meal, 'di ba? Mm.
Yes. And then so how that took how many years, no? Going to this pandemic, maybe you can share what happened to the Hainanese chicken rice with all this competition with the home based, and did it survive? So we wanted to know at the same time, how about the other dishes? What happened in this market during the pandemic in the last 2 years?
Oo. Well, the right after the pandemic, our orders actually went up because remember people uh, the restaurant business just shut down over.
Shut down.
Yeah. So people still wanted, take out food, and some people didn't want to cook in, people who used to be out in the offices were now at home trying to figure out what to eat. So in the beginning, of course, there was a huge like shoot up on the demand. But as the year progressed, I think I'm sure you're aware that a lot of people have come out with their own Hainanese chicken as well. In my
Oh,
case, in my case, when I first started, I would worry about competition a lot. But what I've
uh,
learned through the years is that you just stick to what you know and what you do best, and try to not mind the your competition, and just do the best to your product. So at the end of the day, people will still go back to you.
Oo.
So
Pero
um
paano 'yun? I know, it's quite hard, no, kasi people keep on comparing, especially the new ones, ha. I know we have a gift of experience over the years, no, but
yes, yes,
when
yes.
you're starting, how can you not compare, or what should be the focus talaga of home entrepreneurs?
I think you're first of all, yun, the focus talaga is making one great dish that people
Okay.
will remember you buy. And that may not be easy. It might be luck too, but
Oo.
if push comes to shove, it's always your passion that comes out. If you're really into food, no matter what you do, your passion comes out in your product. So for me, sa mga for people who are trying it out, I think they really have to analyze if it's something they enjoy, or it's just a job for them. Because if it's just a job, eventually when the eventually, of course, you'll get out of this pandemic, mawawala yung ano, yung passion mo dun sa produkto. So it has to be inside of you talaga for you to ano, to stay in this business kasi it's not an easy job. Anton.
Oh, kaya nga. Do you still enjoy it until now? What
Yes.
keeps you going on that?
Well, I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of watching YouTube about food, ano, food segments and stuff like that. Before, I used to travel several times because that
Oo.
was my break from work. Because when I'm here, I don't get a break. We work from Mondays to Sundays with, when people get a break during the holidays, people in the food industry are busy serving them. So even Christmas and New Year. So I try to, get a break by traveling before. But of
Oo.
course, obviously, during the past 2 years, we've been at home.
Wala.
I
Oo.
just
Ah,
I just travel through my iPad.
through
That's it.
your photos, through your photos. So Stevie, I know you built a very good brand. Any tips on for people building their brand now? I know you mentioned about product, no? But
Yes.
aside from product, what else matters in terms of branding ba for in your experience?
For me, second would also be the look, your packaging. That's a way to stand out as well. And
So
I
what
think
did you do for you for the
for
packaging?
for mine, I came up with my packaging is like red, black, and white.
Oo.
In red orange. I just had it in mind, I think, and I had a friend who designed the sleeve that I have that I use for my product.
Mhm.
But the concept, I gave him my concept, and he came up with that sleeve, and you know how my sauces it comes in a box and stuff like that. So packaging would be second, and I think the next would be to try, if once you've established your strongest product, you should try to diversify because eventually, no matter how great your product is, people masasawa yung mga tao. So they
Oo,
need
so kailangan nila ng another one.
yes, yes. Especially as I told you earlier that people tend to value convenience where they just go to one shop and
Oo.
order several dishes for the whole meal.
Okay. Now,
Mhm.
was it intentional to do Southeast Asian or kasi you started now with Singapore and then Vietnam?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
was that intentional? Oh.
It wasn't. My as I said, my whole business wasn't intentional at all. It just
Until now, no?
siguro sa ano lang yon, sa prayers na the Lord was like guiding me to where I
That's
am now.
good.
And
Oo.
it only made sense for me to add Southeast Asian food. But I've also included, Anton, our regular Pinoy party dishes. Like I have paella, kalyos, and stuff like that. So I think
Mhm.
my thrust is more on the Pinoy, party food,
Oo.
party party get together food.
Oo.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I have actually a lot of questions, no. So but we'll say hi muna, maraming kikinig pala. So si Bestie, of course, Jennifer ko, and of
Hi.
course the Lechon Diva who's now in Las Vegas.
Yes. Hi. She's my ate, and she's opening her soon to come branch in
Oo, branch
Las
in
Vegas.
Resort World, no.
Yeah. I miss
So
you,
Jennifer.
ate.
And then Maribel Santiago, Sarmiento, sorry,
Yes.
Maridel, Carlo Lacson, hello.
Yes. Of Felicia's.
Oh, Felicia's,
Yeah.
okay. And then
Yes.
And of course, Risa, Angeli Yulo.
Yes. A lot of Ilonggos, Anton.
Oo nga, you're Ilonggo ba? You're
Yes,
Ilonggo?
from Bacolod.
From Bacolod. Oh, we have the Bacolod food mafia pala dito.
Yes, yes. Kamusta
Okay, now,
yan?
and from Abu Dhabi. Now, um, just a question on pricing. So, this is a lot of home-based entrepreneurs are struggling with pricing. No, do
Yeah.
you like compete with price wars, or do you price it high end? How do you think about pricing, and maybe we in of course in relation to your brand also, how do you price yourself? Maybe any thoughts on that? Any tips?
Yes. In the beginning, there were like a few, probably two or three of us who were doing Hainanese chicken. So, price wise, I priced myself because I was starting off. I priced myself in the middle ground.
Okay.
So, not the known restaurant. I put myself in the middle of restaurants and home business pricing. So,
Okay, so in the middle.
yes. But eventually I didn't really pay attention to the pricing na of competition because I was more concerned about my costing to stay afloat. So
Okay.
whatever lang, if we get a price increase on the price of chicken, I'll adjust it a little bit. If it's too little, I try to absorb it. Kasi I understand naman, Anton, na because we're home based, our fixed costs are of course smaller than the restaurant.
Oh,
So I have that leeway in my pricing. So in my case naman, the restaurants naman don't have the packaging cost like I have, 'di ba? Kasi they send it out with regular packaging. Although recently the restaurants have been ano na rin, 'di ba? Have been packaging it in a way na
oo,
it's good enough to be gifted already. Na
oo,
it's like
they're catching up, no?
yeah, they're catching up. But in our start, we really had to focus on packaging because we didn't have a restaurant to showcase our dishes. So that's why we relied on packaging, on social media, on print also. Sandy
Yes.
Data helped me a lot, and all those Chef Reggie Aspiras, who's really a good friend of mine because I do cooking classes with her as well. Even though
Nice.
I've gone to culinary school. I think if you're a chef or a business owner, in order to keep up with the times and to refresh your menu, you really need to go educate yourself further. That's my tip also, Anton, to your
Mm,
viewers. Na constant training. You're never too old to learn new stuff.
okay. Now, question on in terms of promotions, no?
Mm-mm.
Uh, in terms of working with influencers, and do you join ba yung mga discount days like 1/1, 2/2 or anniversary discounts? I mean, how do you think about your online promotion for Stevie's?
Yes. I don't. I didn't join those promo days because I'm not affiliated with any delivery apps at all. They're all still they all pick up from our house. So most of my promotions are through FB ads,
So
which
nag-a-ads ka?
for and Instagram and also if we have a new product, I try to you know offer it to other influencers as well for them to try if it's good or not. And that's basically where I do most of my promotions.
Okay, and how do you choose the influencers? I mean, any tips? I know people kasi are really looking for influencers also. Is there something that you learned that worked well?
I
Um,
think you really have to pay attention to your price point, Anton, kasi all the influencers have cater to different types of
Audience.
markets and audience as well. So I think I don't know exactly, but I consult my friends, my foodie friends, which influencers to cover. But for your viewers who are in the business, they should try to do research on which influencers are best for their price point and the market they're trying to offer. And as I said, don't try to market to every single segment in this industry because you're not gonna win.
Oo,
You'll
hindi ka
just be
mananalo.
all over the place. Yeah.
Mm. Was there any particular behavior that changed during the pandemic in terms of the food people are ordering or in terms of the type of food they're ordering that you notice?
In my case, may advantage lang, Anton, no? Kasi I was known already more on takeout and party platters. So
Mhm.
uh, they already knew what to order from me.
Okay.
When so it was more on what they really like. I think my observance from the other newcomers, in the beginning, no, the first 2 or 3 months, as in people were just offering anything just to sell, 'di ba?
Oo.
I understand kasi of course it's survival for every one of us. Everyone needs to make a living. But the you know what you learn is that you can't offer everything under the sun and just what you have at home na and if it's not if you're not inclined to like cooking and stuff like that, it'll show in your product also. So but also my advantage is no matter which market you target, if you understand your market and know where to place your product, it will sell no matter what type of product it is.
Mhm.
Yung like let's say if you're just doing all Asian food,
Mhm.
and you do everything that's good in Asian food, people will just show up, I think, in the and through word of mouth and stuff like
Oo.
that. And word of
Or
mouth is a big component also.
oo, grabe.
Oo.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Well, say hi. Ang dami mong fans eh. Sandali Claudette, Claudette JB. Mas beef salpicao, of course. Yeah. Honey Regalado from Abu Dhabi. And Melanie Chua. Hello. Best Hainanese chicken. And Mili Kilaiko. Pride of Bacolod. Okay. Our best export. Export. And of course, Jutes.
Jutes! Our buddy
Oh,
Jutes.
ikaw daw ang masarap.
Masarap din ang pizza ni Jutes.
Owen Jen, the best Hainanese chicken in town. So now, before we conclude, no, I wanted to ask, since you're in the home base field, ano ba yung mga ino-order mo during this pandemic, during this quarantine?
Ah,
Any discovery during this time,
you
or
know,
anything that you enjoy? Yeah.
baka you'll be disappointed for the
No,
lack
no,
of
hindi naman.
creativity. Since we're busy cooking for people, we end up buying Jollibee, KFC, all the
No,
irony of it all.
no, I
Na,
think most are like that, no? Don't you
excuse
think?
me?
Parang most people are like that. Yung mga
Yeah, yeah.
minsan
If
gusto
you
mo na
ask
lang
yung
yung
mga,
usual.
yeah, if you ask yung mga people who prepare food for a living, they end up ordering the basic, the comfort foods. I buy a lot of bilao na pansits just because we have to feed everyone in the house, including the people who prepare the food. So we just order.
Okay. Before we ask you for your final message, parang hindi ko pa natikman ng Bacolod food mo. Nagbabacolod food ka ba or
Hindi hindi
pangbahay lang 'yan?
pambahay lang. Hindi ko pa na-incorporate yung ano, yung Bacolod food. Baka eventually, but as of right now, I don't want to clutter the menu too much kasi as I said, I always believe on specialty. So if I have too many things to offer, people tend to, forget your other products and stuff like that. So it's good that you have a specialty because I mean if they think of a special cuisine, they think of you kaagad. And my tip pa pala is, no matter how long you've been in the business, you really have to remind people that you're still in the business. I
You're
don't
still
know.
in. Oh.
Yeah. Kasi sa dami ng new entrants in our field, people tend to forget na you're still there kasi of course in there everyone's so busy and all. Kung minsan, you need to need to be top of mind also in there
How do
in
you
there.
do that? How do you do that? Viber
Wala
groups, ganun, or your
or
current customers?
Facebook kasi we're such a Facebook fanatic country. So Facebook and Instagram and all social media actually.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, what's next for Stevie's towards the end of the year?
Uh well, so far it really depends on our situation. I will just try to kind of add more dishes, but and try to also take out some of the stuff that really aren't moving so well so that people will know that you're evolving as well. But I think it really depends upon the our situation when it comes to COVID, which we really caught everyone off guard.
Oo. Yes. So we'll ano lang. Dennis said the best Hainanese chicken in town, and then of course Jonathan Te says it's the best. Now, I know. Thank you for sharing your time, no. Kasi I noticed nga that there are a lot of new home based, pero
Yeah.
every time nagbubukas, they stop, no. And I think thanks for sharing about how to make it sustainable, no. And really win in the Philippine marketplace. And thank you for sharing. I know hindi ka rin usually quiet ka lang about all of this. Thank you for sharing to all of us.
uh,
Maybe
Welcome.
if you have a final message, can you if you have a chance to talk to everybody's just starting out, any final advice or final message to them?
Yes. I think it with any business or job, it always takes perseverance, and if you have passion for the certain job, I think it's a plus. It's a blessing because at the end of the day, it ends up not being a job if it's your passion. But also, you have to realize that that passion can go away if you don't take any breaks. So you also need to give yourself some relaxation time, like travel or vacation. And I think for us lang, continue praying that we all get through this pandemic safely, and that we can. I'm pretty sure we're all gonna get out from this problem at the end of the tunnel.
All right. Thank you. Galing,
Thank you.
galing. Sige. So where can they where's the best to contact you? Instagram, I guess, or is there another way?
Instagram, which is Stevie Hainanese Chicken, or Facebook at Stevie Hainanese Chicken as well.
Okay. Where do you
Yeah.
get more? Instagram or Facebook usually these days ba?
This you get what you mean? Get
Orders. I mean,
inquiries?
order increase.
Uh, I think it's split between two, but mostly Instagram.
Mostly Instagram, no?
Yes,
So
yes,
you need to really have a good presence then in Instagram.
yes. I think it's I don't know if the turnaround in Instagram it's quicker kasi people's attention span now is quite it's quite short. So the
Oo.
quicker, for them to make a decision, the faster to make the
Oo.
order. Mm-mm.
All right. Thank you again for sharing your knowledge, TV. And hopefully,
So much.
matikman namin yung Bacolod food mo one of these days. And we can travel together maybe in
Of course.
2025.
Yes. Ano na yun? 20 ano?
Hindi, 2025.
Oh no.
Hindi. Baka mga next year lang, 2025.
Oo, kahit Philippines naman, pwede na, di ba?
Kahit Philippines. So, sama natin si Ate Dedet, di ba?
Oo. We have to do a trip.
Oo, yes.
Oo.
We'll do a Bacolod trip.
Yes.
Yan. Actually, hindi ko alam na taga Bacolod ka. Ang
Really?
galing na. Oo,
Ang
yeah.
kala
I
natin
don't
na
know.
nagsasabay-sabay sa bahay ni Dedet.
Alam daw ni Rach. Oh, kaya pala the whole Bacolod Mafia nandito sa stream. Thank you
Yes.
so much for
Thank you so
listening.
much, Anton. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take
Thank you,
care.
guys.
Bye-bye.